Hello, Professor. My name is Manan Chaudhary, and I will be representing on behalf of my group. Our group is group number 1, and these are the following tasks that we'll be performing in the data factory. So I'll just straight away move to the data factory and I'll show you the task one by one. First is forming all the resources. So we have all the database server and the data factory and the data storage all in place beforehand. As it took time, so we created it beforehand. So first we need to get the CSV file. So we open the blob services. We have already have a container named input data. Here I am just going to upload our CSV. So we are taking Canada COVID cases data. So this contains all the data about the positive and negative cases, all about based on what dates and based on different provinces, what cases were there on a specific date, and all other data as I'll show you later. So data is uploaded just to show you. If I go on edit, you can see these different types of column, the PR date, number of confirmed cases, number of probable cases, number of deaths, number of total cases, number of people tested, number of tests performed, and number of recovered people. So this is our CSV data. Next we have I just forgot a feature here. We can select and check if the file already exists. So when uploading a file, we just have to check this button. If I go on again, it will just overwrite the new formula. If we don't check it, it will create a new file. So that is one feature we used. Next, we are going to create a table in Rsql. Go back, go to the server database, go to our query editor, log in, and I have already a query in place. So I create a table named COVID Canada COVID data. So here is all the columns that I have created. I'll just run the query to form the table. This will be further used in our data factory for transferring of data from the CSV to the table. So here is our table with all the columns. Next we'll move on to the data factory. I have already opened the data factory here, and I'll try to create connections first. So I need to create connections to the SQL and the storage blob storage services so that we can access it here. First I'll create a blob storage connection. I'll just name it as Bdat storage. This is our authentication, and we are using the auto result integration runtime, and we are using the normal key for it. I'll just select the subscription. I have a free subscription for it. And this is the storage name. We are going to test the connection and create it. Next, we are going to create another connection for the SQL database. We're going to Azure SQL and name it as output. I'll use the subscription, the server name, ETL server. Just 1 minute. Sorry about that. And here I've already filled in, because I've already saved on my computer, the credentials. So our admin is BI admin, so business intelligence admin, and I have provided the password. And I'll straight away create it. So creation was successful. Now I'm going to create all the pipelines and the data sets. First, creating a new pipeline, and I'll name this as Bdat pipeline. Here we'll perform all the tasks, and I'll create two datasets based on our SQL and Azure blob storage. First, creating for the storage, I'll import the delimited file. This is one of our tasks. Input CSV. We are going to use the storage linked service we created earlier. Browse, and here is our CSV. So we load that and press OK. It is created, and here you can import the schema. So it shows us the number of columns. Next, I'm going to create another dataset for the SQL table. I'll just rename it to output table because we are going to store it here. Provide the linked service, and now I'm going to select the table, Canada COVID table that we created earlier. Okay. Here you can again see the schema of all the columns. Now we have both in place and all the connections in place. Now we'll move and transform our data. So using this, copy data. Now we select, so we can name it to CSV to SQL. Now our source will be the input CSV that we imported. Sync is going to be the output table. And now our next task is to rectify the mappings, or you can say the schema shifts. Oh, I think I missed part there. I'll just create it another because I think I didn't use first row's headers. So I'll just quickly create it again. Yeah, and select this. Just naming it as input CSV. Again selected. Okay. Yeah, now we can see the schema correctly. Earlier it was not importing the first line as headers. Go to the pipeline again. I'm going to select the source again. Input CSV, output table, into port schema. Just for a few tables it don't recognize, so we have to put in manually. For all the others, its conversions are by itself, so it converts string to integers, as you can see. So it performs transformation on its own. Now we are going to debug it. So it takes some time as we debug. It is currently running. So it has run successfully. You can see the green tick here. Just I'll validate the things for you. I'll go to the server and I'll run a short query. I can run the query there too. Okay, I'll run the query here. I'll take a lookup. I'll get the metadata again. So just go to settings, output table, At the first row only based on a query. So select count star from Canada COVID. So I'll debug this again. So both of the tasks are successful. If you see, we can see the output. Here you can go to lookup, review the data here. Here you can see the number of count of rows. So it has doubled. So to avoid that, we'll use another transformation. For that, we can use a pre-copy transcript and use the delete from Canada COVID. So this will help us in transforming the data and delete all the previous data before running it again and performing a debugging. So if we perform a debugging in a pipeline again and again, so this will help us delete the old data first. Now since we are seen that our lookup performs, we can change the query and perform another query. So since we have province's name, so we can select some of. So we have number of confirmed cases and PR name has a province name. Number of confirmed COVID. Now we have group by PR name and we'll run it again. Now as you can see, both of the tasks are performed again successfully. Here we can preview the data, and since we need only the confirmed cases, I'll just put in the PR name too, just to show you that we got the correct result. I'll run it again. So we don't need to copy again and again. We'll delete this part and we'll just perform the lookup again. Here you can see that it has succeeded again. If you see that here is our output in the code formatting, and here you can see Ontario and the number of cases. So we'll just preview the data again. Now you can see the name of the provinces and the cases, confirmed cases in that. And now at last I'll show you the metadata. I'll just delete this, get metadata. I'll just select the output table, create list, and I'll just get the metadata on the structure. I'll just debug it again. It will take some time. I'll skip to the part when it succeeds. So at last we have also got the metadata success, and here is the output. So it shows us all the structure of the column stored in the table with all the precision and all the types of data. It contains all the structure in here. So that is all from our presentation, and I believe we have confirmed all the tasks here and all the query. Thank you, Professor, and have a good day.